shirt cover. What's it on? Like just. Is this the same with the last time?
Your raffle ticket?
Thank you. You're very good.
My coworker, Mr. Trammell, have any questions? Two? I'll be right back. I'll be walking some errands.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And this one too?
You also share your basics in the cybersecurity.
Are you guys connected to the Wi-Fi?
Like, oh yeah, yeah, you just
Just use their computer, it's not actually.
I think that's the new one, right?
Why don't I check you outside? So I can check what you should find out. Excuse me. Do you mind signing in? Thank you. I think they're ready, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you everyone for being here again from yesterday. And if you're joining us from our live stream, thank you as well. Just as a reminder, this is being live streamed for people at home. So,
Gracias por estar aquí. El segundo día de capacitación de LearnBasicTech. Para recordarles, estamos en vivo para los padres que están de casa. Y luego vamos a resumir la presentación de Cybersecurity.
so we're going to resume our cybersecurity presentation. Before we continue, are there any questions from Tuesday? ¿Algunas preguntas del martes? If not, then we're going to talk a little bit about passwords and how to save passwords. I believe we had a question about this last time. So, in short, what is a password? A password is a combination of characters, including letters, numbers, and symbols. And it serves as a security measure to make sure that you are you. So to make sure that the person that is signing into the account is you and not someone else.
Estaba hablando algo de Roblox o algo así, que estaba con los passwords, ¿cómo funciona eso? Estaba hablando de que su niño compartía la cuenta.
Sí. So, lo que era eso, buena pregunta. So para si quieren recordarles la última vez, el problema es que la madre tenía un hijo que compartía su contraseña de Roblox, que es un juego en línea. Y lo que pasaba es que, bueno, uno nunca tiene que compartir contraseñas porque luego personas pueden meterse a la cuenta, pues, a lo mejor pueden a comprar cosas si tienen la tarjeta y se pueden hacer muchas cosas. So, era muy...
Compran ese juego y el niño cae gratis o lo compartía así o
Algo así. El Roblox es un juego con muchos juegos y dentro de esos juegos uno puede comprar algo extra, digamos. So, el problema era que el hijo estaba compartiendo la contraseña con sus amigos. Y la respuesta de eso es que uno hay que tener cuidado con eso. La solución fue que la madre tiene que tener control sobre la contraseña. So, cada vez que quiera ella o quiera su hijo meterse a la cuenta, lo tiene que hacer la madre. Porque si nomás le da la contraseña al hijo, él lo va a compartir. Pero si cada vez que se quiere meter, le tienen que pedir al padre. Entonces, así el padre tiene más control sobre la contraseña. Es un poco fastidioso, podría ser, si cada vez que quiere meterse a su cuenta le tiene que dar la contraseña, pero es más seguro de no más darse. Y eso era la solución. So just really a quick summary for last week. There was a problem with someone sharing Roblox passwords. The solution was for the parent to manage the Roblox account of the child, and instead of giving the child the password, because the problem with that is that the password would be shared with The problem with that was that the password would be shared with all the friends, and bad things would happen, like the friends would, purchase things inside the game using the credit card that's on the account, things like that. So instead of that, the solution is that the parent needs to take control over the account and save the and give the password to the not to give the password to the child, but to put it in for them every single time. And it's annoying, but it saves a lot of headaches from the password sharing that was going on.
I have a question. It's not off topic, but this morning I was on my Instagram and it said my password for my account may have been shared online. How could that be?
Good question.
Is it a real, is that a real thing, or is someone trying to scam me into changing my password?
It might be, but so sometimes if that happens in a post, if you see a post that says that, then that's something that is definitely probably a scam. If it's Instagram itself telling you, so there are ways Instagram can tell you officially through your notifications or maybe by email from an official Instagram.com. Then I would advise you to change your password. So don't.
It's legit then.
There's nothing ever wrong with changing your password. You can change your password every day.
I just wonder if I click on it.
Don't. I wouldn't click on it.
Okay,
Just change
thank
your
you.
password.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't click on anything.
I've never seen that before.
Just go ahead and change your password.
Okay.
Para traducir, la muchacha recibió una notificación a través de Instagram que su contraseña puede ser compromisado, y hay dos posibilidades: puede ser verdadero o fraudulente. So, hay dos maneras que puede recibir una notificación así. Puede ser a través de la aplicación o a través de un correo electrónico. No hay nada mal de cambiar su contraseña. Puede cambiar sus contraseñas cada día si quiere, pero si recibe algo así, es una buena idea de cambiar su contraseña para estar seguro que nadie tiene acceso a su cuenta. ¿Y qué es una contraseña? Una contraseña es una combinación de letras, números, símbolos y caracteres para mantener seguridad en una cuenta, sistema o red, y para autorizar el acceso. Okay. So, vamos a ver unos ejemplos. ¿Hay algunas preguntas?
So we have a small list here of weak passwords and strong passwords. Okay, I hope no one has a password that looks like this, and I hope people have passwords that look like this. So you should never have password as your password. Okay, you should never have 1234 as your password, 0000 as your password. I've seen that a lot on phones. People go like this, or people do 1212 as their password. These are very insecure. Right? ABCD, just some random words is not a good password. Just changing some characters to be like symbols is not a good password either.
How could I remember
The last thing is you should never use personal information as your password. That is extremely easy to guess. So I know a lot of people, especially people that had trouble remembering passwords, they put their last name and their year of birth. That's one of the first things that hackers will try in order to get into people's accounts. But guess what? It works. Because these are very insecure passwords and they're very easy to guess. On the other hand, we have the list of strong passwords. And strong passwords are long, they have random numbers and characters. We want to avoid using personal details and try to have a minimum of 12 characters using numbers and symbols. I heard a comment. I can't remember this. I can't either. But we'll see how we can remember that. And one more thing, our password should be unique. So we need to try to have a different password for every account that we have. The reason for that is if one of our passwords gets stolen for whatever reason, if we give that, if that password is the same as our bank password, as our DMV password, as our anything, as our Amazon password, if that's the same password for each of them, then we're just giving access to for the hacker to access all of our accounts. It's like having your front door have 5 different locks on it for security, but they all use the same key, right? If you lose the key, it doesn't matter how many locks you have on your front door, because they'll just get
Vi que tenía una pregunta.
Ajá, es que vi en los memes
Sí.
que decía, estaba un gato, que decía que las personas con más reconvertidas eran las que tenían mejores contraseñas porque escribía el gatito cebolla con V en vez de con me da risa.
Sí.
Sí. Como él dice, hombre, ¿por qué no es cebolla? Pero eso fue mutada porque se lo escribió mal.
Sí. So aquí tenemos ejemplos de contraseñas. Okay. So hay que evitar de crear contraseñas que se parecen así, los más pues simples, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, perros y gatos, su nombre con unos números, tal vez su fecha de nacimiento o el nombre de su mascota. Hay que evitar de usar detalles personales o nombres de sus mascotas o palabras comunes. Okay. Una contraseña debe de tener mínimo 12 caracteres y tener una combinación de letras, números y símbolos, algo así, parecido así. Sí, yo entiendo que es difícil recordar esos tipos de contraseñas, pero vamos a ver en un momento cómo podemos organizarlos y recordar esos diferentes contraseñas. ¿Alguna pregunta?
So one way for you to remember your passwords and to have a unique password for every single account is using a password manager. Okay, a password manager is a tool that securely stores and encrypts your passwords so that they're all stored in one place securely. It also has a form of generating new passwords for you that are automatically strong, like this, right? Sorry. So when it generates a password for you, it'll automatically be strong so that you don't have to worry about creating a weak password. I had a question last week, last class about, has anyone ever experienced when you put in a password and it asks, do you want to save this password? So what that is, it's the password manager of your device trying to do its job. It's secure to use as long as your password for your account is secure. I'm going to play this video after the translation and then I'll explain a little bit further.
So, algo también que se debe de dar nota es que las contraseñas deben estar únicos y distintos. Pero cuando tenemos muchas contraseñas, podemos utilizar un gestor de contraseñas. Si tienen una cuenta de Google, un Gmail, tienen acceso a un gestor de contraseña aparte de Google. Es gratuito, es parte de su cuenta. No sé si han experimentado que cuando han intentado meter o crear una nueva cuenta, le avisa, le tira como una ventanita diciendo quiere guardar esta contraseña a su dispositivo. Eso es un gestor de contraseña. Lo que nos ayuda es organizar las contraseñas, mantenerlo en un lugar seguro y también crear contraseñas fuertes. Las contraseñas que vimos Estas aplicaciones nos ayudan a crear esos tipos de contraseñas organizados y guardarlos en una manera segura. Algo más, auto rellena la información cuando estamos intentando de ingresar la información de nuestra cuenta. So vamos a ver un breve video sobre los gestores de contraseñas.
Excuse me. Is that the same as passkeys or something, or is totally different?
That's a great question. That's a different thing than passkeys. I think after this, I'll touch on passkeys a little bit, but that's a great
Thank
question.
you.
But they're different things.
Okay.
So, la pregunta fue que si es lo mismo que un gestor de contraseñas que un passkey. Y no, el passkey es un poco diferente. Voy a explicar lo que es después de eso, después de este video, pero son dos cosas diferentes.
Everyone,
Yeah.
when you go online, you need a different login. From your banking sites, everywhere you go online, you need a different login. From your banking sites to your dating apps, creating unique and strong passwords can get old fast. Now, some people get around this by creating super simple passwords that they can easily remember, like their neighbor's birthday or their anniversary. Others just remember the same password and use it everywhere online. Either of these options leaves you open to identity theft, so don't do it. Instead, use a password manager. It generates new random passwords for all the sites you visit and stores them in a secure vault. Some password managers out there cost a lot of money, but there are plenty of others out there that are free to use as well. Now, before you go and commit to a password manager, make sure it works on all of your devices. The best password managers out there have extensions for popular browsers too. You want a password manager with full support for mobile, since you probably use your phone just as much as your desktop. Be sure to set up the password manager's multi-factor authentication as well. And the best password managers offer support for security keys. Now, the best password managers also let you know if your existing passwords are weak, reused, or have shown up in a breach. The password manager will help you improve these credentials with minimal effort on your part. Just make sure the generated passwords are at least 20 characters long and include all of the major characters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols. Most password managers can also fill in your data on web forms. You can store your payment and identity information in an encrypted vault rather than saving them to your browser. Most of all, any password manager you choose should be easy to use. We don't want you going back to writing all of your passwords on Post-it notes or using the same password everywhere. Check out PC Mag's collection of password manager reviews and choose the one that's right for you.
Okay, so to finish off password managers, I just want to say that we all have a password manager available to us if you have a smart device. So if you have an iPhone, right? If you have an iPhone, then you have right? If you have an iPhone, for the iPhone users, you have the Passwords app, and that is your password manager. And with that, you can manage all your passwords and view all the passwords that you have saved. If you have an Android phone, right, we have what's called Google Password Manager. And Google Password Manager is the same thing. It allows you to save your passwords on your Google account so that whenever you are signed into Google, you can log into all your passwords.
¿Y eso es seguro?
Sí,
Que tenga uno
sí.
¿Eso también se recuerda?
No. Sí, es seguro solo mientras su contraseña de iCloud o de Google sea seguro. Lo que quiero decir de eso es cuando uno se ingresa a google.com, le va a poner su correo electrónico y luego le pone su contraseña. Y esa contraseña tiene que estar segura, porque si no está segura, alguien se puede meter a su Google, a su cuenta de Google, y por eso se puede ver todas sus contraseñas.
Porque ya casi todo es como la huella, pues ya con la huella, pues no pienso que alguien pueda entrar tan fácil, ¿no?
Correcto, pero además de una huella siempre se tiene que tener una contraseña oxinusible. No sé si tiene usted iPhone o Android.
Pero sí,
Pero sí.
como cuando mi dedo está mojado o que no me la da, pues tengo que poner la contraseña, pero a veces digo, bueno, pues ya para todo, tenía en cuenta del Kaiser, y a veces, aunque me la recordaba un poco, que no se usaba y me daba tanto cuenta. Y ya después con el teléfono que era como huella, ya nada más dice que eres tú, pues ya.
Pero con huella o también si tienes de la cara, todo tiene que tener contraseña atrás de él. Y esa contraseña tiene que ser segura. Para contestar su pregunta, si es seguro usar estos herramientas, si es seguro mientras y solo cuando su contraseña de Apple o de Google sea fuerte. Good question. So the question was, is it secure, right? Is it secure to be using these kinds of apps, these kinds of password managers? The answer is yes, it is secure as long as your Apple and Google account passwords are strong. What do I mean by that? Whenever you sign into Google, right, you would put your email address and then your password. Why is this important? It's important because that password that you put in when you sign into Google or iCloud needs to be strong. If it's not strong, then someone can just go in and guess your password, and then now they have access to all your accounts. Okay? So if you don't have the strong password for Google or for iPhone or for iCloud, sorry, then I wouldn't use the password manager. First of all, I would change it, right? Because you want your Google account to be secure. You don't want people reading your emails or anything like that. So the answer is yes, it is secure, so long as your Google account or your iCloud account, whichever you use, has a strong password.
When it suggests, you ever see that when you're signing into something, it'll ask you to choose your own, or it gives you a suggestion for a strong password? Should you click the strong password that it's suggesting?
Yeah, if you want to use the password manager to its fullest extent, to its fullest potential, then you should use the strong password that it gives you. If you want to write it down somewhere, you can. If you want to write it down somewhere, you can, but it's also saved in your password manager. So that means, so what that means is that next time you go to that website, it'll just come up, and you don't have to copy paste it or write it down, right? It'll just come up because that's what the password manager does.
I always wondered why it did that, like, so it knows I copied it, I didn't choose it, and I don't know. Just,
Right.
you know.
But that's the purpose of that, because we're bad at making strong passwords.
Right.
Us as humans, like we don't think randomly. We think, oh, you know, I ate a donut yesterday, so I'm gonna put my password as donut 124.
You forget.
Yeah. So that's why it does that, because the computer is good at generating a random long password, and you don't have to remember.
Sure, okay.
So, cuando los inserta contraseñas, ¿qué pasa cuando usted hace una cuenta nueva y luego le pregunta que si quiere usar una contraseña que generó o si usted quiere hacer su propia contraseña? Y si usted está usando el gestor de contraseñas, yo le recomiendo que use la contraseña de que está dando. ¿Por qué? Porque nosotros como humanos somos muy mal haciendo contraseñas seguras, ¿verdad? No podemos empezar tan aleatoriamente. El ejemplo que di es, digamos que comí una dona ayer y por por eso voy a poner mi contraseña como 1, 2, 3, 4. Pero si yo le doy permiso a la computadora que genere una contraseña segura por mí, va a ser una contraseña muy larga, muy compleja, y yo no tengo que recordarme de ella. Si quiero, lo puedo anotar en un lado para poder saberlo, pero la próxima vez que me voy a ese sitio web, ya va a aparecer la contraseña ahí y ni tengo que ingresarla, no tengo que a copiarla o escribirla así, ya va a aparecer ahí y no me tengo que preocupar de nada. Entonces, si usted está usando el gestor de contraseñas, es lo que recomendado hacer es usar usar la contraseña que le dan. Any other questions? And they're all free. The Google one and Apple one are both free. Esos son gratis, el de Google y el de Apple. Sorry about that. I was seeing the questions. The last thing that we can talk about for account security before we move on to another topic is two-factor authentication. Okay, two-factor authentication. And this is probably the strongest form of authentication, of security you can have on any of your accounts. What does this mean? Two-factor authentication means you need two things to authorize to get into your account. First is you need your password. Second is you need something you physically have, like your phone. So what this means is that whenever you try to log into your account, whatever account it might be, you put in your username or your email, and then you put in your password. And then after that, what it does is it can do a lot of things. It can send a text message to your phone with the little code, and then you have to put that code in. Like, have you ever seen that before? And enabling two-factor authentication means that will happen every single time you sign in. That can be annoying, right? It might be annoying having to pull out your phone every time and have it send you a text message with the code so that you can sign into your account. But really, it's the strongest form of authentication there is because you need your phone. Let's say Juan is at his house, he's chilling, and then I'm trying to hack into his account. And I know his email, and I guess his password, because his password is 1234. If he has two-factor authentication on, it's going to send a text message to his phone with a code that I need. And I don't have his phone. He's at his house, so I can't get into his account. So I'm locked. I'm stuck. And there's no way to get past that. So that's the beauty of two-factor authentication. It means that that you're not going to be able to use, or you're not going to be able to get into your account without your device.
So, no sé si han si han utilizado el dos factores de autenticación. So, los dos factores de autenticación es una capa de seguridad que se puede agregar a sus cuentas en línea. So, lo que utiliza es dos cosas. Uno lo que sabe, que sería el nombre de usuario de su cuenta y la contraseña. Otro sería algo que usted tiene, que sería su teléfono o tal vez su correo electrónico. Lo que hace es, si intenta de meterse a su cuenta, le va a pedir un código de seguridad. So, esto viene a través de un mensaje de texto o tal vez un correo electrónico. Le ayuda en situaciones que alguien puede adivinar su contraseña y intenta de meterse a su cuenta, y lo que va a hacer es le va a tirar un código seguro a su teléfono para asegurar que es usted que se está metiendo. Si no es usted, no van a poder, el hackeador no se va a poder meter a su cuenta. Okay. Les doy el consejo que si tienen la opción de activar el 2 factores de autenticación, que lo active porque le va a ayudar a agregar más seguridad a sus cuentas. Algo más que es similar a los passkeys. So, la señora preguntó algo de los passkeys. Los passkeys son como, utiliza su huella, su rostro o tal vez su huella digital para poder verificar que es usted metiéndose a su cuenta. En lugar de usar un código, utiliza su biométrica. So so passkeys are kind of similar to 2FA. And instead of getting a code, you get you use your biometric, your fingerprint, your face. You scan that, and then you get authorization to your account. So it's very similar to 2FA, but instead of using a code, you use your biometric. That's passkey.
Just adding a little bit onto passkey. What it does is that you can skip putting your password in the first place. So what a passkey is just like Juan said, is instead of putting in your password and then getting an account or getting a text to your phone and all that, you need, if you have your passkey on your phone, then you need your phone, and then you can skip putting in your password at all. Okay, so that means that if you have a passkey enabled and the passkey is on your phone, let's say I want to sign into Google, I can go to google.com and then I click on sign in, and then it automatically signs in. I just need to beep, scan the face or put in my PIN or anything like that, and then it signs me in. So what a passkey is instead of using a password, you're using a physical device. One thing to note is I said if my passkey is on my phone, right? So if I'm trying to log in from my laptop, I would need to add that passkey as well to my account. If I don't have that passkey, then I have to put in my password on my computer. So that's a little tricky, right? If I have the passkey is tied to a device, so maybe I can skip my password on my phone, but I need to type in my password on my computer. I hope that answers your question a little bit. If you want to try out passkeys, go ahead, right? There's nothing wrong with it. If you have like a device you use a lot, like your phone, you can put your passkey on your phone for each account so that you don't have to sign in. You don't have to put your password in whenever you sign into that account on your phone.
Thank you.
So, algo también que quería mencionar que los passkeys no va a necesitar ingresar su contraseña, nomás le va a pedir, como mencioné, su biométrica, otra vez un PIN, porque está conectado a su dispositivo. Puede utilizar una computadora portátil o computadora o su teléfono para agregarlo como un passkey. Lo vemos, so I can watch the video.
Very small.
So vamos a ver un video sobre los 2 factores de autenticación. So watch the short video regarding 2FA.
Passwords are everywhere. We use them to access our money, our communications, even our social lives. At first, we used one password for everything, but that wasn't good enough, so we started making our passwords even more complicated and began using password managers to organize the dozens or hundreds of the unique passwords we used. But no matter how complex our password system was, it was never enough to prevent account takeover, because all it took was one phishing email or database exploit, and your password was out in the world. So if passwords are impossible to protect on our phone, what do? That's where two-factor authentication comes in. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, adds a second method of identity verification to secure your accounts. First, the thing you know, your password. Then something unique that you have, like your phone or fingerprint. By combining your password with one of these factors, attackers can access your account even if they have your password. The most common 2FA systems use a unique one-time code with every login attempt. This code is tied to your account and generated by a token, smartphone, or sent to you by text message. The more modern and most secure form of 2FA uses a mobile app to send an approval notification to your smartphone or smartwatch for the least hassle possible. With 95% of breaches involving account takeover, two-factor authentication is the most effective method of prevention. It's time for everybody, businesses, governments, and you, to take the easy and effective step of enabling two-factor authentication on all accounts. If it uses a password, it needs to use two-factor authentication.
Any last questions?
Entonces es como lo que te digo que tengo que ese pago de ustedes, buscar eso.
So, eso con su huella sería un password. A veces cuando no puede escanear la huella o su rostro, va a necesitar ingresar su contraseña. So in her case, sometimes the scanner doesn't scan her fingerprint. So sometimes when that doesn't work, she has to put in her password.
Ken? Never mind.
Okay, if you have it, if you ever forget it, you can write it down so you don't forget, and then we can get to it. I want to talk a little bit about social engineering. Does anyone know what this means? ¿Alguien sabe lo que quiere decir la ingeniería social? Social engineering. This goes very well with cybersecurity. So social engineering is a psychological technique used by cyber criminals to trick individuals into giving confidential information, or it can also be trick individuals into performing actions that may compromise security, aka downloading viruses. Okay, so in short, social engineering is people like scammers or people like that tricking us as users into giving personal information or downloading viruses. We are the weakest point of attack in a computer system. So our computers can be the most secure computers in the world. But if we give hackers access to our accounts using by giving them our passwords, or maybe we give them our credit card information or things like that, then it doesn't matter how secure our computers are because we give them access to code.
So, la ingeniería social es un técnico psicológico que utilizan los delincuentes para manipular, engañar a las gentes para que ellos tomen acción y comparten su información privada o que compromisan sus dispositivos o computadoras. Hay muchas maneras que utilizan esos delincuentes para manipular a las gentes. So vamos a ver unas maneras y los técnicos que utilizan y cómo podemos identificarlos.
Okay, this is a lot. We're going to go through each one by one. If you want to take a picture, please go ahead. Vamos a ir uno por uno. Si quieren tomar una foto, tómenlo. Ahorita lo voy a hacer más grande. So right now I'm going to zoom in. These are the 5 forms of social engineering that we'll talk about today. first one is phishing. Okay, phishing is a fraudulent attempt to obtain sensitive information by pretending to be someone trustworthy, like they can be someone that you know, or they can be pretending to be from a company, saying that something is wrong with your account, or there's a lot of examples, right? Phishing usually comes by email. So we've all seen phishing email, probably. Well, actually, hopefully not. But phishing is when things come in like, oh, your account is full by email, right? Your account is full, click here to buy more storage. Or something from Amazon, for example, that says, thank you for your purchase of $1,500, right? Click here to go to your account. The purpose of phishing is to make us panic and make us not think about what we're going to do. So obviously, no one wants to see that we got a surprise charge of $1,500 from Amazon. So what are we going to do? We're going to try to click on the link and try to resolve the problem as fast as possible. And that's when they strike, that's when they download viruses, that's when they steal our information. Next we have smishing. Smishing is the same as phishing, but through text message. I don't know if anyone has ever experienced a smishing attack. One of the most common that I ever see is the UPS or the USPS smishing scam, where they say that you have a package that is at the warehouse and it cannot be delivered due to incomplete whatever, and then they give you a link to be able to fix it. Right? So I see people nodding their heads. Right? Of course, everyone has probably seen these. I've gotten a few personally about Fast Track. So Fast Track being the like 110 express lanes, saying that my Fast Track account has is low on funds. I don't even have a Fast Track account, so. Another popular one is vishing. That just means voice phishing. Okay, and vishing is when people call you and pretend to be a family member or a friend, or maybe perhaps they can pretend to be a government official or from a company, right? Who impersonate someone that the victim knows, like a family or friend. This is getting very complicated. The reason for that is artificial intelligence. So I've already seen people do scams like this, where for one reason or another, they have the voice of a family member or a friend in an artificial intelligence like program. And then they use that program to generate speech that sounds almost exactly like the real person. And then they impersonate them, and they say things like I'm stuck at an airport in whatever city, I need some money, right? Or things like that.
How do they do that? How can they steal a voice?
How can they steal a voice? So who has gotten a scam call where they just, if you've ever answered it, and they don't say anything?
We get a lot.
Okay.
Oh, is that how? I say like, my daughter, they can use her voice to call me.
So what they can do is they can record our voice from one way or another.
Oh.
One of the most common is from scam calls that are they look meaningless, right? They look like what are they even doing? But what they do is they record the voice, And the more they record, the more convincing the artificial intelligence voice is. So
that's why they don't say anything, so that you can.
you can just say hello, you know, or things like that. Yes?
And to also point out too, when they do call you and they're asking you questions, like they're asking for like a yes or a no answer, don't even answer that, because what they'll do is if you say yes, they'll record that and then call it like you're a bank and then, you know, authorize things within your voice saying yes or no and things like that. So those are.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's better not to even answer these scam calls. If you know it's a scam call, if you're, a lot of our phones have detection for scam calls now, just don't even answer. Right. That's the easiest way to avoid all of this. But that's what's been going on lately with artificial intelligence. People recording voices and then using them against family members and friends to be able to scam them out of information or money or things like that. Lastly, we have pretexting, and this is simply creating a fabricated scenario, impersonating someone that they're not. Pretexting can go on for weeks, months, even years. Someone pretending that they're someone they're not. This is people's full-time jobs, scamming other people. So just keep that in mind.
How do you avoid that when you already like reporting this as a scam? They will still sending you the same.
Good question. So how do you like avoid, if you already reported, you know, this is a scam, but they keep sending you stuff? After you report it, so it's good that you reported it. After you report it, you should block the person. You should block that account. And with you blocking the account, they won't be able to send you things. So how to block the account, it depends on the platform, but it's usually going to be in the same area where you reported it. So I would just say also block it, report, block, and delete.
They keep calling from different numbers.
So that's a little different from reporting, right? But let's say that's a good point, and I used to have that problem. Like I can show you my list of blocked numbers. It's like I would say 1,000 at least. What happens is that they have like a billion numbers, and if you block one, they'll call you from a different one.
Is there any way to keep
What?
the number private?
You could there's like a national not call list. I think that works.
Even,
The-
does it work even for?
But probably not. But the way to stop those calls is to simply not answer. By you not answering, you're telling the scamming system that it's not worth their time to go after you, and they're gonna go after someone else. But that's what you should do if you keep getting scam calls from different numbers. Just don't answer them. They'll eventually lower in frequency and hopefully stop. So you're telling them that, you know, it's not worth calling this number because I'm not going to answer.
Sometimes I automatically text them on my way. just so like to confuse them, just to like hang up real quick, but like, you know what I mean?
Right, but I mean, that would still be interacting with them. I wouldn't
I see.
interact with them at all.
Okay.
Personally.
Any questions? Did you do the bait? The bait?
Oh, I do, huh? Lastly, we have baiting. So baiting is offering something desirable and saying it's free. So this is one of the oldest tricks in the book. You know, I've had my fair share of emails saying that I want a free iPad or I want a free gift card. All I have to do is fill out the survey. And guess what? The survey is where I'm going to share my first name, last name, address, email, phone number, all this stuff. And I'm never going to get that iPad. So baiting is a method of offering something that's free, and when you actually go to it, it can steal your information, It might even download something, download a malicious software, or other things like that.
Or they send you money through the bank. Like last time, like a month ago, I received through sale from Bank of America $1,000, and I didn't recognize the sender. So I called the bank. I said, well, I don't recognize the sender. I don't know who. Of course, I wanted to give the $1,000.
Right, yeah.
It was good. But I didn't recognize the sender, and I called the bank, and they said, well, good that you reported, don't touch it, because the minute you touch $1, it's gonna get back to you, so it's pretty scary.
Yeah, and good thing you reported it. Yeah, it's very tempting to keep it, but scams like that, let's say, I think as an example, let's say I had $0, and then I get gifted $1,000 gifted. So now I have $1,000, and I go spend it, right? And then something happens, and they revoke it. Like the scammer says, the scammer revokes it, or like it doesn't go through for some reason. Now I'm in debt, right? So it's good that you didn't touch it. And I like what you did. You reported it immediately. So that's thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
A mi esposo le pasó que le mandaron por correo algo del Banco de América, pero él no llamó a ningún número de ahí ni nada. Fue directo al banco para mostrarles si era un dinero de algo así. Pero sí.
Pero más para asegurarse.
Sí, porque no sabemos si es como la cosa de que van a marcar un número que se pide información rara o así. Y a mí también me pasó mucho eso de lo de USB, también no los sabía para nada, ni también a mi hermana le pasó de que le estaban llamando y parecía mi sobrina. Estaba yo como, ay, pero pues hizo o sea, más bien, no hizo nada y luego ya le llamó a mi sobrino, a la hermana, y no, pues estaba bien, pero era la voz igualita a la de mi sobrino.
Sí, desafortunadamente se ve eso por inteligencia artificial. Y nomás hay que tener cuidado.
Sí, porque pues si ella me empieza a dar datos o cosas. Yo también pues, no conozco un número, pero a veces tengo dudas si es médico o algo así. Me levanto el teléfono y si oigo como cierto ruidito que es de máquina o así, cuelgo. Pero a veces se agarran como un sistema. Pues me llamaban que algo de Apple. Para Apple, para que algo. Y a veces dejaban mensaje, como en la máquina. Quiero que tu device está algo, necesita una adaptación, no sé qué. No, ni volvía a llamar para atrás ni nada. Porque también otra cosa, si pone uno su número privado, pues nadie te contesta, nadie agarra ya las llamadas privadas. Por decir, para que no vean mi número, pues no olvídate de ponerlo privado.
Sí, también. Porque nadie quiere contestar
No,
eso.
ya nadie contesta.
Yo no quiero contestar eso. Gracias por compartir. Right. Another tip that we got was if you ever get an email or something that's from like your bank, especially your bank, but if it's from another company or something like that, don't even call the phone number that's on the email. Right? You should call the number, the official customer support number, or you can just go to your bank. Because that phone number that's on the email belongs to the scammer. And they want you to call that, and then they're going to continue the scam. So just try not to call the email that's on, or the phone number that's on that email.
So, aquí tenemos unas formas de ingenierías sociales. Comenzando con el phishing, serían los correos electrónicos fraudulentos que recibimos a través de los bandejas de no buzón de su correo electrónico. Y esos son, pues, se parecen como si fueran legítimos, pero al contrario son fraudulentos. Van a tener iconos, números de teléfonos o dominios del correo electrónico que se parecen como si fueran oficiales, pero son fraudulentos para poder robar su información. Siguiendo tenemos el smishing. El smishing son mensajes fraudulentos que recibimos a través de su número de teléfono. Uno común que yo he recibido en el pasado es el del USPS o el UPS, cuando dicen, oh, su paquete no ha llegado porque no ha llenado su información completamente. Por favor, llena este formulario para poder recibir su paquete. Yo nunca ordené nada a través de UPS o USPS. Esos son comunes también. Uno del Fast Track, no sé si han recibido del Fast Track, que usted se metió en el carril del Fast Track, necesita pagar el ticket. Cosas así son phishing, cuando recibimos mensajes fraudulentos a través del número de teléfono. Y proporcionan un enlace malicioso para que ustedes hacen clic y llenan el formulario y compartan su información. Okay. Otro es phishing. El phishing es cuando recibimos llamadas que se parecen que es alguien que conocemos. Okay. Lo que hacen los delincuentes es cuando ustedes reciben como llamadas que nadie contesta y comienzan a hablar ustedes y dicen, oh, ¿quién es? ¿Quién está hablando? Están grabando su voz para poder engañar a la gente que son para manipular a gente utilizando voces de personas que usted tal vez conoce. Puede ser sus familiares, amigos, lo que sea, para poder pues engañarlos, así que proporcionan más información o otra vez dinero. Lo que utilizan es la inteligencia artificial, graban el voz y comienzan a utilizar esos sistemas para poder crear oraciones o historias usando el voz de la gente que conocemos. Cuando reciben llamadas así es mejor de evitar de contestarlos, déjala que se llegue a su buzón de voz, o si quiere contestar, contesta, pero no diga nada. Entonces mejor evitar de contestar y déjala que se va a su buzón de voz. Si es algo importante van a dejar un mensaje. Algo más, si saben que es un atento de algo fraudulente, reporta el número, bloquea el número, así que evita los llamadas en el futuro y reduce la cantidad las frecuencias de las llamadas. También tenemos el pretexto. El pretexto es situaciones ficticios, cuando pues la gente le envía una solicitud a través de su redes sociales diciendo, hoy soy su sobrino, su nieto, lo que sea, estoy apenas salí de cárcel, o aquí estoy perdí mi trabajo, conozco tu hermana y todo eso. Cosas así son ficticios para poder pues, manipular gente, así que proporcionan dinero o información. Si recibe una solicitud de amistad y alguien pues, están diciendo que son sus familiares, por favor verifiquen con su familia y aseguren que sí es la persona que están diciendo que son. También tenemos el cebo. El cebo son ofrendas que son muy deseables, como una tarjeta de regalo de Netflix o de Walmart a través de su correo electrónico. diciendo que usted ganó esta cantidad de dinero porque usted fue el ciento visitante de la página. Para aceptar la tarjeta, hace clic aquí y llena el formulario y pone su información. ¿Okay? Eso no es cierto, es solo para robar su información. ¿Okay? Otra vez a descargar un malware a su computadora, un virus a su computadora.
Excuse me, do you think also on vision, on the voice, do you think sometimes they can get it through our social media, that sometimes we put videos and we're talking, and if it's public, do you think they can get it from there too?
Correct. So, from anything, it helps them if it's if the video is clear. Like if there's a lot of people talking and things like that, then it's harder to extract a single person's voice. But if it's something that's very like clear, where it's just you speaking, then it's possible to extract just your voice, and then also train the artificial intelligence to sound like you. For example, with this recording, someone could possibly cut out just the parts where I've been speaking, and then train an artificial intelligence to sound like me. I should actually do that as a test, just to show. But yeah, so like I'm speaking and there's usually no one else speaking, so it's very easy to cut out the parts and then add it to artificial intelligence program, and then have it say whatever it wants. But let's say any of you didn't have a lot of voice, a lot of text, well, a lot of time speaking, right? So it's going to be a lot harder. If someone malicious should be watching, there's 7 people watching. Just saying. But yeah, it's possible. That can be possible. Anytime you speak and you upload it, it's possible. And that's until the laws catch up, until like Congress and everything catches up to the technology, this is just how we have to live.
What do you think about that? Do you think AI will do more damage than good, or the opposite?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a new thing. It's very hard to tell.
So, puede pasar que como una persona que está en Zoom meetings, mucho puede pasar de que estén copiando la voz de ahí, porque muchas personas desconocidas que estás tomando clases y puede que una de las personas sean cabecillas y te estén grabando la voz. Entonces, así como está diciendo usted, debo de tratarlo, a ver si sirve.
Sí, no, y sí he visto personas que lo hagan. Sí, yo digo que yo lo ha de hacer con mi voz, específicamente para enseñarles, pero sí he visto qué fácil es. Nomás se ocupa unos la última vez que me fijé, era como unos 5 a 10 minutos, era bueno para poder hacer una voz. De 5 a 10 minutos de voz clara.
Okay.
Eso era hace un tiempo, podría ser que es menos tiempo que se ocupa.
Sí.
Pero sí, como usted dice, digamos que estamos en Zoom y todos estamos hablando, bueno, una a la vez.
Sí.
Podría ser que alguien esté grabando la clase y que nos haga de la voz para poder dárselo a inteligencia artificial. No hay garantía, no hay garantía que nadie esté haciendo eso.
Okay.
So, algo de pensar. Y como dije, tenemos que vivir con esto hasta que si hacen leyes contra eso o cosas así, no hay nada que podamos hacer contra eso. To translate that, the same thing goes for like a Zoom meeting. Let's say especially if it's not just one person presenting something, like here. Let's say we're all in a Zoom meeting and we're all like sharing our stories, right? In kind of like the circle format where, you know, one person shares a story and the next person shares a story, things like that. There's no guarantee that someone isn't recording that to put into artificial intelligence. So I don't wanna, I see how this is sounding. I don't wanna be paranoid for life, right? But it's something that can happen. Right? It's something that can happen. So don't, it might be too late, but don't, I don't want to scare anyone. Right? Just know that there's no guarantee that it's not. No le quiero espantar a nadie diciendo esto. De eso no se trata la clase. Nada más quiero que estén alertas, que esto puede pasar. No quiero decir que nunca se metan a un Zoom, que nunca hablen, ¿verdad? Porque no. Pero es algo que tenemos que saber. Any other questions?
Porque más se tiene que sugerir como para el que le gusta mucho ver las cosas o dinero, que no todo lo que brilla es oro, o sea que no engasen. A mí que ganó no sé cuánto, bueno, está bueno. Pero no, si hay gente que se cree cosas o que por eso las tapan.
Sí.
Porque quieren como fácil ganar sus cosas.
Sí, desafortunadamente así pasa. Aquí tenemos un ejemplo, lo voy a hacer para el primero. Un ejemplo de un email que dice que se ganó $50 de un Netflix gift card. Y todo lo que tienen que hacer es hacer clic aquí y se lo dan. Nada en la vida es gratis, no le van a dar estos datos. Es muy probable que es una estafa para robarle su información, o simplemente cuando le hace clic aquí y se va al sitio web, que se descargue algo para que se pueda meter a su computadora o su teléfono. Como usted dijo, no todo lo que brilla es oro. Nomás porque dicen que le van a dar $50, no le van a dar $50. Gracias. So, skipping ahead a little bit, right, we have an example of a baiting of a $50 Netflix gift card. All you have to do is click here. Right? And some people, this looks obvious to me, right? This is not real. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. Right? This is 100% too good to be true. No one's going to give you a $50 Netflix gift card for nothing. Right? When you click this link, it can either go to a fraudulent website so that you can input all your information, and they'll steal that information, or it'll go to a website and then download something without you knowing, that something being like a virus or something like that. So just stay away from things like this. Delete it, or report it first and then delete it. So es bueno reportar esto, algo así, y luego borrarlo. Okay, sites of phishing attacks. We have some emails here, but some of the things that you should look out for when you get an email, these are the things that make it look fishy. Number one is unsolicited communication. That means that they will contact you first. You won't contact them first, they'll contact you. They'll be like, hi, I just wanted to mention that your mailbox is almost full. Click here to upgrade. Or they'll send you a message from Amazon saying, oh, thank you for your purchase, for your $2,000 camera purchase, right? And then they'll put like a a link here, there's always gonna be a link. You put a link that says, you know, go to your account if this is not you. They want you to, this goes on to the second one, urgency or threats. They want you to feel alarmed. They want you to not think about the consequences of clicking the link. They just want you to feel scared that, you know, oh no, I lost $2,000 on something that I didn't even buy. There might also be spelling and grammar errors. This is getting a little harder to detect thanks to artificial intelligence. Scammers can use AI to create like a perfect email with no spelling mistakes, things like that. So this used to be something a lot more prevalent, but it's getting a lot less prevalent. Mismatched URLs or links. So if you ever see a suspicious link, a lot of the times they're very, very long links, which what it does is it redirects you to a lot of different sites. If the link doesn't show, so this one's a little, it needs a little bit more explanation. Sorry about that. So when we hover over a link, right, that means to just put the mouse on top of the link and not click it. If this link does not match what pops up on the bottom, that's a red flag. So we can see that this link says mercerlive.mercer.edu, but it actually takes you to a very different link. So what that means is that this is a red flag, and we should not click the link. On your phone, you can do the same thing by tapping and holding the link. So not just tap it, but tap and hold the link. And then a little box will pop up with this part. Right? So if this link does not match up with this, that's a red flag. Some other things is request for sensitive information. Things like your bank asking you to confirm your password, or the IRS asking you to confirm your Social Security. These things aren't done by email. So if you ever see something that they're requesting sensitive information, that's a red flag. Lastly, questionable attachments or logos. It's very possible that they try to attach like a document or a file onto the email, and as soon as you open that, that's a virus. So if you ever see an attachment, be careful with it. Don't just open it automatically. First, we need to look at the email to see if it's legitimate. Any questions?
Sometimes we're searching something and then you will automatically pop up something very similar website, or it's like a sponsor or something, and then you don't pay attention, you just click, and then you redirect to that website, you didn't even notice you're into the wrong website. That is very hard to avoid.
So yeah, so it can be. So an example, I don't know if I can do it here. Well, I don't think I can do it here, but just to reiterate, what you're saying is you look up a website, and a lot of different websites pop up, and the website that you're looking for, there is one that looks very similar to it, like the name of the website. So you click on it, and it takes you to a wrong website. There's a lot of redirects, and you end up on the wrong website, and you don't even know, right? That's a skill that we need to. You just get earned with time, with more experience, searching for stuff on the internet. One thing I can recommend is whenever you do a Google search, for example, For example, if you're looking us up, like LearnBasicTech, whenever you're doing a Google search, the place where it lands you is always here. Make it smaller. The place where it lands you is always here. Alright, so this is incorrect and not what you're looking for, and you can avoid this one. Right, this is not us. If you scroll a little more, this is us. Right, and you can tell from this part here that this is our website that we're looking at.
I think another thing is it always shows like the sponsored one first, right? If you scroll to the top, it's like the sponsored result is always first, and then it'll show the rest of the results after the sponsored one.
That's another thing, thank you. So, usually if you're not running like any ad blocking or anything, some ad will come up first. Like this one, this is an ad for some other website. So if it says sponsored result or ad or anything like that, it's probably not what you're looking for. So there's just a little tip about to be able to find the right website.
Can I add on to a little bit more? Sometimes like big companies, like when you're resetting your password for Instagram, they'll send you like an email saying like no reply. So like sometimes the emails will start off with like no reply. Sometimes could be legit like actual like Instagram asking you to reset your password and stuff like that. So just be sure to make just be sure and safe to make sure that the email is accurate and legitimate.
So para traducir eso es, a veces, bueno, si quieren cambiar su contraseña, va a recibir un correo electrónico y el dominio va a decir no responder o no reply. Y va a decir @instagram.com o algo así. So, para verificar que es algo legítimo, veamos si dice no responder o no reply y el dominio que sería instagram.com. Ok, aquí tenemos señales de phishing. So, hay muchas cosas que utilizamos o vemos para identificar que es un atento de phishing. Si es comunicación no solicitada, si le envía un correo o les llaman diciendo, por favor verifique su contraseña o su número social, cosas así, cuando usted no está solicitando comunicación hay que tener cuidado. Urgencia o amenazas, o si están diciendo que por favor toma acción hoy, ahorita, para poder acceder a su cuenta y seguir con sus servicios. Si no hace eso, se va a cerrar su cuenta y ya no va a poder acceder a su cuenta. Errores de ortografía o gramáticas. Si hay muchos errores gramáticas, eso nos está diciendo que es un atento de phishing. Pero como mencionó Rodrigo, hoy en día la inteligencia artificial le está ayudando a los delincuentes a crear correos electrónicos que no tienen errores. So, aunque se parece que si no encuentra errores gramáticas, vea los otros detalles, como si hay urgencia o le están amenazando diciendo que su cuenta se va a cerrar, cosas así, ¿ok? Enlaces no coincidentes. So, en este ejemplo podemos saber que el ratón está montado encima del enlace y vemos aquí bajito le aparece un barra donde le está tirando este enlace, ¿okay? Si vemos aquí dice mercerlive.mercer.edu, ¿okay? Se parece como si fuera legítimo, pero si vemos aquí es una página desconocido, ni se puede leer la dirección. Algo más, no tiene el S, no está seguro. Lo que pone ahí en esa página, los hackeadores esperan a ver la información. Pero en este caso también, aquí parece que hay un S, no son coincidentes, ¿verdad? y si pues también el dominio. So, aquí dice, ok, como están haciéndose pasar como una institución educativa, tendría, pues si fuera algo legítimo o si fuera la institución, tendría el dominio helpdesk@mercer.edu. Pero en este caso, lo que tienen es helpdesk@roadrunner.cc, ¿ok? Las instituciones educativas como los colegios o universidades van a utilizar el .edu, acabando el nombre de la institución. Bueno, en este caso tienen roadrunner. So ahí podemos ver que es un atento fraudulento. Ok, también van a utilizar los logotipos o los iconos que se parecen como legítimos, pero eso no va a decir que es algo verdadero. Solicitudes de información sensible, so le van a pedir, ok, que por favor confirme su contraseña, confirme su número social, número de banco, cosas así. Hay que pues a pensar y tener precaución, ok. ¿Algunas preguntas sobre los señales?
Muy rápidamente, just quickly, we've all seen these, right? But this says your package has arrived at the warehouse and cannot be delivered due to incomplete information. The one thing to look out for, well, two things, is number one, if we look at the sender, okay, the sender is an email address from @icloud.com. This means this is not like a business. This is someone sitting at their phone, sending an iMessage to you, saying that UPS, USPS, whatever. Number two is the links that they provide. Even though they have a yes, these are not the official USPS link, right? This one says WI-alter USPS.shop. This one says USPIDI.top. And neither of them are the official USPS. Does anyone know the official site? Does anyone know how we can find out? Look, we can take 5 seconds and Google USPS official site. It's actually there. It's USPS.com. So with 5 seconds, we were able to verify the official website of USPS and not click on these, which could take us to an illegitimate site or download a virus or who knows what. That's something we should always practice. If we see something that looks a little off, a little suspicious, we can try to find the official website, the official phone number, customer service phone number of whatever we're dealing with. So not to click on anything here, but go to the official site. Any questions?
Excuse me, when we go to a site, I don't know if this is related, but are you gonna go into them about accepting cookies, something?
That's a good question. Yes, we can go over that real quick. This is right after the transition. Good question, good question.
Vamos también a ver sobre los cookies, pero antes que hacemos eso, vamos a ver dos ejemplos de smishing. So, aquí tenemos dos mensajes diciendo que su paquete no ha llegado a su dirección porque no ha llenado la información. Y les proporciona dos enlaces. So, aquí si vemos dice wi.alter usps.shop. Aquí dice uspidi.top, ¿ok? Como compartió Rodrigo, podemos verificar en 5 segundos haciendo una búsqueda de Google. que es la página verdadero de USPS, y ahí nos muestra que es usps.com, ¿ok? So, es algo que es muy útil para verificar cuál es la página legítima de una compañía. So, si quiere verificar, recibe un enlace, hace un búsqueda de Google, ¿ok? Y ahí pueden saber cuál es la dirección legítima de la página.
So let's take a little time on this because it's something that people talk about a lot. Cookies. Who has seen cookies?
¿Quién ha visto los cookies? Okay.
Yeah. So let's take a look at it. So I'm just going to go to a random site. I like using this one as an example. And I go to a site and I see cookie, right? So this happens all the time nowadays. So what does this mean? What a cookie is, it's a small file on your browser that its use is to, it has several uses. One of the uses is to help the site load faster and work properly. So again, a cookie is used to help the site work properly. They do a lot of things. They can save your information so that you don't have to sign in every time. They can so let's see what to do with this pop-up. You can put, what I like to do is just put necessary cookies only. What this means is that only the cookies that are necessary to run the site are going to be loaded. Well, let's go ahead and click on Customize to see what all the cookies are. So this site in particular has 4 different types of cookies. Okay, the first one is strictly necessary cookies. And the strictly necessary cookies are needed to be able to run the website. That's why there's no option to turn it off, because they are necessary. So this website needs cookies to be able to function properly.
What is confirm my choices? Oh,
So this website has 3 other types of cookies. In this case, targeting cookies, performance cookies, and functional cookies. What do these mean? They all have descriptions if you would like to read them. But in short, these are optional cookies that do optional things. Like they help the website know what's being clicked on, so they can improve. They collect data to be able to improve the website. Who here has ever looked something up on Amazon or another site, and then later on your social media you start getting ads for that thing?
or even if you think something and I'm serious. Because sometimes I've been thinking on something and I'm just on the car thinking on something, and then I only have one social media, which is Instagram. And the first thing that appears is something related with what I was thinking. And at first I thought that I was going crazy, but
That's not possible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to know how it's not possible. Okay, I guess we all get that.
Yeah. So
is that a cookie?
We sit on our brain.
there's cookies right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so a few things. First of all, where I was going with that is that's cookies. When you search something up, so when you search something up on Amazon, let's say I'm on Amazon, and I search up, I don't know, water bottle. And I search the water bottle, and I'm looking at the water bottle, I'm looking at different water bottles, and then on my social media, I get ads for water bottles. That's cookies. So what that means is that Amazon is putting a cookie on my browser so that advertisers know what is interested to me, right? Because that way the advertisers can target me, and they know what I like, and they know what I'm gonna buy, right? So if they like target plants, let's say, if they give me ads for a plant, I'm probably not gonna buy that because I don't have any interest in plants. But if they know that I'm looking for water bottles and things like that, they're going to give me ads for water bottles because I'm more likely to purchase a water bottle than I am a plant. Okay, so that's cookie. Just to finish off cookie, and I'll get to that. These are optional, so you can turn them off. Right, turn them off. Or you can just simply put necessary cookies only. That's the same thing. Necessary cookies only, and then you're done with it. So you don't have to worry about it.
What if you turned them off and then clicked on customize, would it still allow you to search what you're searching for?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So, in short, cookies are nothing like dangerous or something like that. To some people, depending on how much you're comfortable sharing, it might be a privacy concern. But you can always delete cookies by clearing your history. Okay, I'm saying it again. If you clear your history, you delete all your cookies. So if you're worried that you have a lot of cookies or you don't want your cookies anymore, you can clear your browser history, and then that deletes all the cookies.
The cookies will also slow down your device.
No. Theoretically, if you have like a trillion, quadrillion cookies, but they're so small so they don't slow down your device. In fact, the websites will actually be slower if you don't have any cookies because it has to take the time to put those cookies back. So the cookies actually would make the website just a bit faster, if that makes sense. Because again, the website needs cookies to function. So it needs to spend some time putting the cookies in the browser for it to function. If let's say you clear your history every single time, if you load from new, like after you clear your cookies, the website might be a tiny bit slower than if you've been to the website 50 times without clearing your cookies. So cookies are not something bad. Right, and I recommend, if you're worried about privacy with cookies, to put necessary cookies only or something like that. Our website also uses cookies because cookies are necessary to be able to function. Right? We use cookies whenever you can put got it. For us, we only use the necessary cookies if you just press this, got it. We only use the necessary cookies. If you want to put more cookies, which like our website doesn't even use, you can put accept or additional options. And as you can see, the same as the last one, necessary is on. The rest are off by default for our website. Because we don't really even use that stuff. So you can just got it. So once more, the last time, cookies are not something bad. They're necessary for the website to function.
Why some website has cookies, some don't? If the website doesn't have cookies, does that mean they really don't use cookies at all?
Correct. Like let's say a website like, well, some websites might put cookies without telling you. Like for example, the Amazon puts cookies, but they don't have a little pop-up because they don't tell you. That's the reason why if you look at something on Amazon, like dresses or whatever, and you get that commercial later, it's because you have those cookies on your browser that Amazon put without telling you. So when you get the pop-up, it's a good thing that you get the pop-up, right? It's a good thing that you get the option, or that they're telling you that we're putting cookies on your browser. Amazon and things like Google, they don't even tell you, but they put them anyway. So that's, I would say that's worse.
Is that their way of collecting your data and then marketing?
Yes. Cookies. And again, you can delete all your cookies by clearing your browser history.
What about what she said? She could think of anything and then like 5 minutes
Okay,
later.
let me get, I was getting to that. Okay, so that's cookies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're just supervising.
About that, so there's two ways. Number one, and we're gonna talk about, we're running out of time, so we're gonna talk about this next week on Tuesday. We're gonna talk about smartphones and like permissions and things like that, so come back for more information on Tuesday. But something that our smartphones might be doing, depending on your settings, is it might be listening to our conversations and picking up on things. Like, let's say me and Juan are talking about this TV and how nice this TV is. Wow, it's a great TV. It's very big. I love the colors. I would love to have this Samsung TV at home. And then later, I start getting Samsung TV ads, even though I never even looked it up on my phone. Why is that? Because depending on your settings, so you might have an app that's listening to our conversations and picking up on those little things. So that's possible, right? And there's very hard evidence that it's happening. And the reason is because maybe there might be a few apps that have permission to listen to your microphone, even if you're not using the app. Okay. More on that on Tuesday. So just to
También tiene que ver eso algo con los cookies cuando se te queda en la memoria y lo estás pensando y te sale también porque ya sabes lo que andabas buscando antes.
Eso
Tiene que ver con todo y eso, ¿verdad? Está conectado con todo y eso. Okay. Entonces, en otras palabras, como dice usted, es bueno tener cookies, pero no es bueno al mismo tiempo porque te vuelve a salir lo que tú estás interesado.
Sí, y si estás ocupado de eso, lo que puede hacer es poder subir historial de vez en cuando. Existe bueno los cookies. So, los cookies es necesario para que sirven los sitios web, pero como usted dice, se pueden ir acumulando y a lo mejor aprendiendo más de lo que estamos acostumbrados, más de lo que queremos compartir. Entonces, cuando pasa eso, simplemente puede su historia.
También para agregar, puede ser el algoritmo. So, muchas aplicaciones, páginas, redes sociales utilizan un algoritmo para proporcionar resultados que tal vez a usted le gustaría. So, es dependiendo de lo que ha visto, lo que ha publicado, lo que ha comentarios, like, todo eso. También si usted pues ha presionado un anuncio o promoción o ha buscado por ejemplo en Amazon. So, si aquí vemos, si una persona está buscando vestidos o audífonos, le van a proporcionar resultados sobre lo que ha buscado. So, eso es el algoritmo. So, to translate, sometimes these websites, applications use algorithms. These algorithms collect data based on what you search, what you like, what you've seen, to provide you results that may, that something you may like. In this case, say you're looking up dresses, white dresses, or headphones, it'll give you results based off what you search or what you've seen. So it'll say, oh, check out these offers, and that also applies to social media. So depending on what you see, what you like, what you posted, it'll provide you results based on that data. that's the output.
We were just looking at water bottles and he's giving me offers for different water bottles. But I didn't look at this one, and it's telling me, wow, it's just water bottle, right? We can keep on going forever, right? Say I put a compliment. Go back to Amazon and coffee mug. Like, well, it's just this one's. Right. So that's the way it keeps building building more information about you. So espero que ya no sobre mucho, pero en corto, en español, las cookies no es nada malo, son necesarios para que sirvan un sitio web, pero podría ser que un sitio web esté podría ser que un sitio web le aparezca con algo así, de documentación, si no se quieren preocupar de privacidad y cosas así, es ponerle necesario solamente. Necesario solamente, y así no van a tener las cookies que son malas a la privacidad, como los que estamos hablando, que cuando usted pone algo y le aparece esa cosa que le quieren vender algo, si usted le pone necesario a lo que pueda, pónganle ahí y ya no se tienen que preocupar. Algunos sitios web a lo mejor no les dejan, pero recuerden que si tienen muchos cookies y piensan que ya es demasiado, pueden abordar su historial y así se borran todos los cookies. La próxima semana vamos a hablar sobre privacidad con los teléfonos y cómo puede ser que tengamos en nuestros ajustes que nos esté escuchando una aplicación, que les demos, a lo mejor no sabemos, pero podría ser que les dimos permiso a una aplicación que nos esté escuchando sin que nosotros estemos usando la aplicación. Eso la próxima semana, el martes, mucho tiempo a las 9, vamos a hacer eso. And about your question, like it's thinking, like you're thinking and it just appears. To my knowledge, right? Maybe the military has this in top secret, but to my knowledge, we don't have that technology yet. So I would have to say it comes down to coincidence, where your phone or your account already has a good idea of what interests you and what you think about daily, and it gives you offers for things like that. There's nothing I can say, right? Other than it's probably a coincidence. I don't think we
I
have.
was just expecting a
Yeah.
conspiracy theory.
No, I don't think we can.
No, just kidding.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe, but no, but we don't have that yet. Not yet. So we're I think this is a good place to stop. We do the school. I don't know if you want to mention it or if I can mention it. These
Yes.
okay. So the school asked us to, if you can please scan this QR code and take the survey. It's very short. It's about this workshop and how good we did, things like that. So if you can please scan this QR code, would be appreciated. La escuela nos está pidiendo que si pueden escanear el código QR que está ahí para poder hacer una encuesta sobre este taller, y es como cosas como cómo estamos haciendo, cosas así. So, por la escuela si lo pueden hacer, sería
Agradecido.
agradecido.
Is there a website? My phone died again. My phone died, so I can't scan.
I can email it to you too.
Oh, okay, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I wanted to show an example of a past key and choose that. Do my thing right on the back. Yes, so thank you for coming. Again, we're gonna have some interesting phone-related classes on Tuesday, same time, same place, 9 a.m. So we'll see you here. Thank you for coming. Gracias por venir después de que termine la encuesta. Oh, amiga, ¿verdad?
Yes, please. Your tickets if you didn't get it.
Gracias por venir, tenemos la letra, pero vamos a regresar el, okay, thank you. El martes digo a las 9, en el cuarto, vamos a hablar sobre los teléfonos inteligentes y también lo que es red sobre los permisos. So, aquí los vemos el martes.
Thank you. Para borrar el historial, hay veces que y borrar y te vuelve a mandar a ese sitio por ti. ¿Cómo se borra? Historial.
Una pregunta, no sé si quieren hacer el primero le dejo enseño o...
So we can have one picture.
So, muy rápidamente para poder borrar el historial.
We just need their email to send it.
So how to delete history? It depends on the browser. This is Google Chrome. So what we can do on Google Chrome is we're gonna click on this, on the 3 dots up here. Vamos a poner los 3 puntitos. Le voy a poner aquí en history. Aquí historial, history. We're gonna click on history. And then history again. And then on Chrome, we have a button on the left that says delete browsing data. Aquí en Chrome tenemos un botón aquí que dice borrar historial. On Chrome, again, we can choose how much, how long, right? This was deleted from the last time. Thank you. This, like, was 7 days or all time, like all history. And then I'm not gonna do it because it's not my computer, but we can click delete from device, and then that goes history.
So the cache and cookies are different. Cache can slow down, slow down your device.
Yeah, you can delete cache.
That one can slow down your device, but the cookie won't.
No, yeah, exactly. So the cookie won't slow down your device. This one will, because like cookies are actually extremely small. They're just like a few characters. But cache, you can delete that and it won't. It'll actually
Slow down.
Yeah. So you can delete cache whenever. So.
Well, I have a question. It is true that once in a while it's good to shut your phone, shut it down for a little while. Is that true?
It doesn't harm. It doesn't harm anything. So you can do it, and it's good to do it so that you can like delete. It would delete any like temporary files.
Okay.
So you can do it. You can also not do it, but it's good to do it, right? Maybe every week, every 2 weeks, whichever you want.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.